Alright, we are looking for Jack Cabot's sister, Imogene, who was last seen with some smooth, slick-talking religious-type dude. I believe it's this brother Thomas here. And he was last seen getting kicked out of a bar for shoving his religious pamphlets in people's faces and not taking no for an answer. Imagine that, a pushy religious person, right? And seeing as we haven't seen or heard from her since, well, I smell cult written all over this. I don't know. We'll see. Couldn't see what he has to say, but we need to find her, one way or another.
Hi.
Welcome, neighbor. We're always glad to see a new face around here. Tell me something. You ever feel like this whole world is broken? Do you ever wonder why things can't be the way they were in the good old days?
No, I don't wonder. The world got blown the hell up.
You should make time for something this important, neighbor. Something that could change your life, and maybe the whole Commonwealth. We call ourselves the Pillars of the Community. We're a pretty new movement, so you may not have heard of us. But we're growing fast all across the Commonwealth, and you can be part of this exciting future. Step right this way, and I'll be happy to tell you all about our movement and how you can be a part of it.
I'm not looking for a sales pitch.
A sales pitch is the last thing I would ever give you. I'm not selling anything, neighbor. I'm giving away the secrets of long life, happiness, and prosperity. Giving them away. What do you say? Ready to take that first step into a new life?
You owe it to yourself to give it a chance.
I have some questions first.
Of course you do, and I'm here to answer them. Shoot.
What's your movement all about?
Our mission is nothing less than to transform the entire Commonwealth one life at a time. Maybe you've seen pictures or heard stories about what life was like back before the Great War. Maybe you've wondered, why can't life be like that again? Well, neighbor, I'm here to tell you that it can be. Anything else you're wondering about before we get started?
What do I have to do to join your movement?
That's the beauty of it, neighbor. You don't have to do anything, except have a willing spirit and open your heart to the possibilities. Anything else you're wondering about before we get started?
What if I change my mind after I join?
There's absolutely no obligation, but trust me, once you see how your life is transformed, you won't want to leave. Believe it or not, we have never had a single pillar leave after joining. There's not many groups like ours that could make that claim, are there? Anything else you're wondering about before we get started?
I don't have any more questions.
Good.
You owe it to yourself.
And I hope you're
to
ready
give
to
it a
take your
chance.
first step into your new life as one of the pillars of the community.
I'm not sure.
Of course. How could you be sure until you'd experienced it for yourself? Just follow me and we'll get you started on a trial basis. I'm sure once you've seen what we have to offer, you'll be glad you gave it a chance.
Hello, neighbor.
I'm always excited to welcome a new member into our fold.
Okay, this predator sleaze with his curly little pedo stash. He'd be the type that before the war, if he wasn't selling dope to little middle school children, he'd be in a windowless van preying upon them. Sorry, I consider that kind of religious salesmanship about the equivalent of verbal and spiritual child molestation. It's just that dirty and sleazy. It makes me feel like I need to take a shower just listening to them speak. But, we need to find Imogene, so we'll tolerate him for a moment. Yeah, I have a big issue with religion. Not faith. Not at all. Faith is a very personal and important thing for people. But religion is a whole different thing. The shit that he's selling is just poison.
Don't be shy. Just follow me.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I hope you're as excited as I am. This is one of my favorite parts of the job, getting to welcome new members into our movement. The first step is simple. You have to learn to give up your attachment to material possessions in order to gain the ability to have true wealth, health, and happiness. Just go ahead and give me everything you own, and I'll initiate you as a first-level pillar
Just
of the community.
go ahead and
Yeah,
give me
right,
everything
buddy.
you...
You know where you can shove that pillar.
I hear you, McCready.
You must think I'm an idiot.
Well, you came in here, didn't you?
Oh, that was your last
you've
mistake.
Got two choices. Give me everything you've got, or we take it anyway.
And the snake shows its scales.
I'm walking out of here. Your choice, what you want to do about it.
Ah, you're not worth the trouble. Plenty of easier marks. Get out of here before I change my mind.
How about I show you what people should be allowed to do before the war?
Starting to have...
Is shoot all you wolves dead in your bitch face. I'm serious about that. That should just straight up be legal. False preachers and cult leaders and freaks that prey off the hopes of people and the misery. Anyway, just sorry, it's a pretty touchy thing with me. Like I say, I consider them actually worse than murderers and child molesters, if that's possible.
Find anything useful on 'em?
Rapists. It's kind of like spiritual rape, really. Anyway, but this is the only solution for that. No jail cells, no supporting them off our tax dollars. We just throw them out and let pigs feed on them and make the world a better place. All right. So, post-war justice that should be around pre-war. And yes, I am talking to all those televangelists. Yes, I'm talking to them too. That's what grenades are for. No time for any of that. All the poor people that get their livelihood just ripped off. And point out that there was a walking cane here, right? See that walking cane there? That means they prey on the elderly too. That's how I'm going to take that. So I'm just saying sorry, that hits a big nerve for some reason. Anyway, but we did the right thing. So I'm assuming this marker that popped up is either Imogene or something that will lead us to Imogene. Hopefully it's not a dead body. Maybe Imogene, although she apparently, from all accounts, she's known to have flings often. She'd get bored and go off and disappear for a while, and then they have to go get her, which is what we're being sent to do. This isn't the first. But this is another one of her things, but looks like she's been locked in this room back here, so being held some sort of prisoner or sex slave or something. Goes right along with everything that piece of shit was about.
Don't tell me. Jack sent you.
Yep.
You're Jack's sister? I was expecting someone a bit younger.
You really know how to flatter a lady, don't you? Just to be clear, I'm Jack's younger sister, the baby of the family. Once I get home and get some of Jack's serum, I'll be back to my usual stunning self.
Jack has a serum that reverses aging?
It really isn't any of your business. And I know it was Jack who sent you. He's always trying to control me.
Do you want to get out of here or not?
Well, yes. I've been waiting to see if Thomas would come to his senses. But since you've already gone to all this trouble, I may as well leave now. I was bored with Thomas anyway. He seemed so interesting at first. But after we got here, he turned out to be just another brute. He actually thought he could force me to join his absurd cult.
Your boyfriend's dead. Let's go.
Thomas? He wasn't my boyfriend. We had some fun together, that's all. Besides, he shouldn't have locked me in here. Oh, I'm not going with you. You can tell Mother I'll be along home before too long. I just need a drink first.
Oh, well, she's learned nothing. Okay, well, I guess it's going to take her getting done really, really bad by one of her flings. This could have ended very badly for her. I would not put anything past that piece of crap that I laid to rest there, so yeah, could have ended really badly. But yeah, I don't think there's any telling her anything. I think she's going to have to see it and experience it for herself. As sad as that is. Alright, well, we did our job. Anyway, we found her. Got her out of that mess. I can't see her not getting herself into another mess just like it at some point in the future. As bad as that dude was, there's people that are even worse. Raiders and what have you.
Man, I could really use a cigarette.
Alright, well, I guess we go report back. She'll make her way back eventually, I guess. That's not our problem, actually. Why do I have a quest marker? Hancock. Oh, I think he's the one that told me to go check out Pickman's gallery. I think that's how I got that on my map. Was okay, I need to go tell him what I found there. Or at least report back to him or whatever. Let him know we took care of all the raiders and made friends with the serial killer.
Edward, are you there? Damn, the signal is strangely weak. Edward, switch over to the Hartley modulator. Do you copy?
See now. How's this?
Oh, that's done it. Edward, what's going on there?
We're under attack. They're inside the building.
Inside? Can you keep them out of the basement?
I'm trying, Jack. I've never seen raiders that... For God's sake, Sammy, the doorway, right there. Sorry. Things are a little busy around here right now.
Listen, if they're inside the building, you have to go to the office and shut down the elevator. You can't risk them getting to Lorenzo.
Got it. Office. Elevator. You better round up whoever you can and get...
Hello? Edward? Come in. Edward! Ah! There's no signal at all. I've lost him.
What's happening, Jack? If these people are inside Parsons, if they free him...
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
I always knew it would end this way. I never should have allowed you to lock up Lorenzo in that place.
That isn't helping, Mother. And as I recall, using the serum was your idea, not mine.
So what are you going to do?
I said I'll handle it. I'm thinking.
What's going on?
That was Edward. He's at Parsons, the old asylum. They're under attack by raiders. It's strange. The guards have held off raiders before without any trouble. I don't know what's gone wrong this time.
I found Emogene. She's fine.
Oh, yes, good.
Thank God. At least one small comfort on this terrible day.
You'll be wanting to be paid, of course. Edward usually handles these things. Caps is what you use for currency, isn't that right? Here. I hope that's the right amount. Now, we really need to focus on the current emergency.
How can you be so callous about your sister's safety?
I wonder if these could be the same raiders that stole that last shipment. If some of them had used the undiluted serum, it could explain their unusual success against Edward's men.
What exactly does this serum do?
I suppose it's time you knew. The main benefit of the serum is to halt aging. My family and I are all over 400 years old. But it also confers other side effects, especially in the undiluted form that the raiders stole. It increases strength and resistance to all kinds of physical damage. So at least some of these raiders may be much more dangerous than the ones you're used to dealing with.
Where do you get this serum from?
My father, Lorenzo Cabot, is confined in Parsons. He became dangerously unstable after handling an artifact he found on an archaeological dig in Arabia. He gained various seemingly paranormal powers, as well as becoming increasingly irrational and violent. In the end, I had no choice but to confine him, for his own safety, as well as ours.
Jack, are you sure it's wise telling her all this?
In the course of my attempts to cure him, I discovered that the artifact had introduced anomalies into his blood. So the source of his insanity is also the basis of the treatments that have prolonged all our lives. The irony isn't lost on me, but if he were to escape from Parsons, I would lose my father forever. I will not allow that to happen. Not to mention that the artifact has made him paranoid, homicidally violent, and endowed with extraordinary abilities.
Exactly what abilities does he have?
Enhanced strength, unusual resistance to most kinds of physical damage. Oh, and a kind of local telekinesis, which appears to be projected by the artifact itself. That's why I've built a dampening field into his cell. Which is why we really need to stop these intruders before they turn it off. Before we go, I need you to understand something. When we get to Parsons, you need to do exactly what I tell you. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that clear?
Why is that so important?
If these intruders have gotten past Edward's men, they may have freed Lorenzo. I'm the only one who understands exactly how to deal with him. Is that clear enough for you?
Got it.
Good. Make sure you have whatever you'll need for a serious battle. I'll wait for you outside.
Jack, be careful. And try not to hurt him.
I love Father at least as much as you do. But you know as well as I do that if he gets free, there will only be one option.
Don't let it come to that, please.
I'll do my best, Mother. And if Imogene finally comes home, for God's sake, don't let her leave again until I get back. Now, I really do have to go.
I don't need anything right now, thank you.
Okay, so the serum either reverses or stops aging. Something like that. I was kind of half right. I was thinking maybe they were ghouls and the serum reversed ghoulification.
Under no circumstances can we allow Lorenzo to be freed from Parsons. I would have lost my father forever. I refuse to let that happen after spending so long trying to cure him.
Trying to cure him. Sure seems like y'all are reaping the benefits of his condition. This artifact, I can't help but think it has something to do with the whole Dunwich thing. Just gonna throw that out there. For some reason, there's just that.
That's made Lorenzo so dangerous. I'm sure his psychosis would be cured if it could be removed. But so far, all my attempts have failed. It's fused too tightly with his nervous system.
Would be really interesting if we found some kind of link between the Dunwich things. I'm trying to remember what the thing was in the basement of the Dunwich building in Fallout 3. Didn't see anything like that down there in the
I'm well aware of the apparent conflict of interest in my father being the source of the treatment that is prolonging my own life. But I assure you that if I had the chance, I would gladly give it all up to have my father back, even for a short time.
Oh, did you hear McCready? He says this monument's a joke compared to the one in downtown D.C. That's got to be the McCready from Little Lamplight. Got to be. Kind of confirmed it right there. Does that say legend? It sure did. All right, cool. Drop your stuff. Hold still so I can shoot you in your face and count out your caps. Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything down in the tunnels at the Dunwich Borers. They had that little altar set up and it looked like they nuked themselves for something. Ghoulified themselves. I wonder if they're going to come up with some alternate religious deity or something whose plan for people, for mankind, is to ghoulify them, and that why some people become ghouls and others just die of radiation, right? Is some divine choosing. And if you remember in New Vegas, you had what was his name? Bright? Jason Bright? I think it was Jason Bright. Anyway, whoever. And you had Bright and the Bright followers. And they were all very rational ghouls. Jason Bright was actually really cool. But he talked about the great beyond and something about us coming to save them and help them get there, which we did. I mean, to be honest, it kind of panned out like he said it would. And then he was a glowing one, but yet he was in complete control of, he had all of his faculties and stuff. And the ferals were friendly to them, almost like sheep, like followers of the non-feral ghouls. And so I'm wondering if there's some alternate thing going on here. It's got to be something. There's some story there, something having to do with the Dunwich thing, maybe, or the followers of Adam, who don't even appear to become ghouls. They can just sit there and take lethal doses of radiation like it's cool, and just, well, like it's cool. So I don't know. Maybe in Bethesda's writing and their whole plan for the game, you know, the lore or whatever, perhaps all these religions or whatever you want to call this, little belief systems or theologies are actually are real. Maybe they all actually apply. I don't know. I was thinking about ghouls. Like, you have some feral, some not. Why the difference? And then some die from radiation, and then some become ghoulified. And what decides that? And then followers of Adam not even becoming ghouls, and then these Dunwich people becoming ghouls, right? Like, you had the guy who you could see his transformation into a ghoul if you read all of his little holotapes in the Dunwich building in Fallout 3. And then you had, like, that raider, what was his name? Theo or Igor or whatever his name was. He was hiding behind all those radiated barrels. He killed himself to give himself over to whatever he felt wanted him to do whatever he was doing, hiding there away from the rest of the raiders. In fact, he even left like a note in his holotape, I could go kill all the rest of the raiders, but I don't think it would want me to do that. It wants me to rest now, and my gun's loaded by my side, and, you know, and I guess he eventually shot himself or whatever. But, so I don't know what God he thought he was serving or whatever in his head. I don't know, just kind of putting all this together. Or trying to, anyway. Well, I guess we'll find out when we get to Parsons, when we get to the Insane Asylum. I'm glad this is taking me back there. I wanted to explore that place. Pretty lucky that we just happened to come across this little line of quests here. This explosive shotgun. Yes, it does have AoE friendly fire up close, like really up close, sure. But it looks like the explosive effect on it gives it a range like any other gun. Basically, when the pellets hit, they explode. So there really is no range limit. I can probably hit that gutsy from here. Yeah, there you go. See? Get off me. He charged me. Wow. Okay, sorry guys. I'll take all that. What else we got here too? Alright, so I guess we're going to the asylum on foot, obviously. I probably could have fast traveled there, but actually we've unlocked some locations already. So places I can fast travel back to. I want to go check out that Bunker Hill. That looked cool. I didn't see any red tickers, so either there weren't any hostiles there, or they at least weren't acknowledging me. But if that's a friendly community, then, well, that just means more quests and stuff, right? But just go check it out. Monument looked cool anyway, and then you had that cool ship right next to it too. I want to go check that out, so I'm kind of glad we wandered through there. I had just talked about wanting to go look at all that stuff anyway. So now we're getting to go to the asylum, and we got to go discover that monument, which is right next to that ship and all that, so it gives us something to do. Okay, this, I believe, is the factory where all the forged are. I believe that's correct. We'll just go ahead and mosey right on by. I'm sure they've all respawned there. Kind of sounds like it. Did that Cabot dude actually go over there and start a fight? It looks like it. What an idiot. Why? That's completely off the beaten path. He went and did that on purpose, didn't he? Oh, they're having a shootout. Well, you went... dumbass. Go pick the fight with all of them? Okay, let's see how that works for you. Take that. Damn, they're all coming out of the woodwork, aren't they? Oh, that was a nice shot. That was also a nice shot. Nice. Okay. I'll take that. A little notch on my belt with that one. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sorry. You give me that one? I think I took that one, actually. Yeah, look at the range on the shotgun now. This thing is a beast. This is an absolute beast. Best shotgun ever. Oh, I meant to throw a grenade. Okay. Well, I should have known there wasn't any throwing. Look at the range on this thing. Beautiful. AoE? Damage 2? Oh, man. Yeah, I think I found my gun. It's almost like an exploding terrible shotgun, right? Very cool. I think I can still put a rank or 2 in my explosives expert perk too. I believe I at least have 1, if not 2 or 3 more ranks to put in that, so... Alright, so yeah, it'll get even stronger. Oh, and another rank to put into automatic weapons. Actually, if I'm sinking points into single-shot rifles, then whether I have an automatic receiver or not on the shotgun, it shouldn't make a difference if I'm sinking points into both, because, you know, one counts towards snipers and the other perk basically counts towards everything else that I use. If it's not a sniper, then it's an automatic something. What the hell was that? That sounded like heavy breathing. Did you hear that? We got friendlies here. Alright, so I guess we got a new settlement. We'll come talk to them. We can always fast travel back here too. What the hell? A legendary glowing death... Are you serious? Look at this son of a bitch. Yeah, you just sit there and look at me. I'm totally cool with that. He threw rocks at me from way over there. Wow. He is not playing any games. And here he comes. Yeah, I think this is a one-shot kill with this guy. No two ways about it. This isn't going to end well for me. I'm getting out of here. Oh, I'm gone. I don't know if he can chase... I doubt he can chase me up top here. This is probably actually a safe spot. Let's see what my old shotty can do to this guy. Bam! Oh, it's taking chunks off of him. Take that, you big old bitch. Oh, this shotgun rocks. It's actually become a ranged weapon. Well, I mean, I know it's a range, it's a gun, but I'm saying it's become a long-range weapon now, essentially. Because up close, I could essentially kill myself with this thing. I think I'll save my 10mm for the really up-close stuff because it has such a high recoil. And keep this for mobs. Because, yeah, because the scatter shot is AoE also. Oh, man, this thing is fantastic.
Sweet.
Trick. Should teach me that sometime.
Okay, we got traps in here. Okay, so MacReady is the immoral follower. He's down with you doing all the bad stuff, like stealing people's shit and stuff like that. That's it, really? Just a few crafting things and... What's that? Well, this is it. I can't believe I'm gonna die in a snack bar. I wouldn't even come in here except for one of his friends told him that there might be a snow cone machine in there. Well, that's worth dying for, I guess. Post-apocalyptic world, and you find out you might be able to come up on a snow cone machine. I'm totally down with that. Totally understand it. I'd risk life and limb for that too, actually. After the bombs fall, who wouldn't want a snow cone? I mean, seriously. That would eventually become a must-have type of thing. Alright. Any more surprises? Any more legendary glowing Deathclaw? I didn't even know there was such a thing. That's not comforting. No. Stash of the good... Well, I don't really have anything to do with canned dog food. It'd be cool if you could actually have your dog eat canned dog food. I used to leave dog meat with a can in his inventory just because. I'd give him a can of canned dog food and give him a purified water. And then his, you know, whatever, his collar and his little armor and stuff. And that was it. That was his stuff. Now he's chilling at the co-op, you know, catching some rays and doing the beatnik thing. Hugging the robots and whatever. Alright, so, well, these raiders they were talking about, apparently they're not out here. There's nobody left out here, is there?
Men seem to have given a good account of themselves, but not good enough, sadly. We need to get to my office. From there, we can see how bad things really are.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
it did go down.
Close, follow my orders, and I'm sure everything will be fine. Let's go.
Raider. Mercenary. Gunner harness. Yeah, this isn't a gunner. I think... Oh, man. What if the gunners infiltrated the Cabot's mercenaries and have got a deal going with the raiders? Or something. Which, of course, the raiders would double-cross them anyway, but... I'm going to throw a little plot twist in there, a little conspiracy. I could see that. That said mercenary. That did not say gunner, but he's wearing a gunner harness. Like, you know, even Jack Cabot said something about he wondered why his men were having a problem with these raiders. Usually they hold off raiders with no problem, you know, type of thing. And the mercenaries, well, if they got traitors amongst the ranks, or people working on the sly for the gunners, probably out for the same thing that the raiders are. Yeah, there's yeah, see, that's a gunner there. That merc. Or maybe this is a third party that was here. Or maybe the gunners are working with the raiders. I don't know. Alright, well, we know what it is next time. We're going to go check out this insane asylum. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. And if you want to catch this rest of this Let's Play up to this point, click that image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.